President Trump's classified documents case in Florida has been postponed with no set date. Judge saying in her decision, quote, the court determines that finalization of a trial date at this juncture would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions before the court necessary to present this case to a jury. The court therefore vacates the current May 20th trial date.
Former Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi joins us now. Pam, good morning to you. What do you think about this, and what does this mean for Donald Trump?
Good morning. Well, Carly, it means that he's going to receive a fair trial, at least in one of the cases. That's the right thing to do. You know, people need to remember in all of these criminal trials and civil trials that he's facing throughout the country, all the rights belong to Donald Trump, yet they're being denied to him in most of these cases. This is exactly what should have happened. Defendants are entitled to as much time as they need to be prepared for trial. I wish Judge Merchan in New York was following what this judge is doing.
Well, let's get to the judge in New York. The New York versus Trump case, the business records case, which we really don't talk much about business records in this case these days. You get the sense that at this point in the trial, Pam, the prosecution knows that it has not established illegality. They know the case is ultimately, even if they win, going to get reversed on appeal. And so they're just trying to put on witnesses that hurt Trump politically because, to your point, Pam, they have a willing judge in Judge Merchan.
Yeah, so first, this trial is, all of her testimony was salacious. It should not have been admitted. You know, one of the basic tests you do as a judge is you say, does the probative value of her testimony outweigh the prejudicial impact to Donald Trump? And the answer, of course, is no. She had denied multiple times that she had an affair with him. She was trying to extort him. She hates him. She wants him to go to jail. She was making money off him. All of this came out at the trial, and I firmly believe reversible error has been committed in this case, not only by her testimony, but I believe starting as early as jury selection, when that judge didn't give President Trump enough challenges and denied him removing jurors for cause who clearly said they didn't like him. It's really been remarkable, but this typically is not how a jury trial is handled.
Yeah, so Pam, just some details on what happened inside the courtroom yesterday. Apparently, Stormy Daniels told this story where she said that she swatted Donald Trump with a rolled-up newspaper, and Donald Trump mouthed, "That's BS," to his lawyers, and then he was also seen shaking his head, and that caused the judge to call Trump's lawyer, Todd Blanche, aside and say that the former president is cursing audibly, shaking his head visibly, and warning he needed to be quiet or held in contempt for possibly influencing the jury. What do you think about that? The judge warning Donald Trump not to react when some of the details that Stephanie Clifford, Stormy Daniels were saying are the things that some are saying shouldn't have even been permitted to be allowed to be said in court.
Right, Carly, again, none of her testimony is relevant. None of her testimony should have been admissible to a business records case. Yet the judge allowed it. The prosecution put it on. None of the rights have been given to Donald Trump. And he had every right to shake his head no and say this is BS, because I believe it was BS, and the jurors are seeing that. And now I think the judge is worried. The prosecution is worried. You know, if they wanted to put on her testimony, the proper thing the judge should have done is proffer her testimony, taken the jurors out, and heard what she was going to say before it was presented to a jury. The judge already admitted she was a loose cannon. She was blurting things out she shouldn't have done, yet he continued to let her testify. So none of this trial has been fair to President Trump.
And on the one hand, you can't unring the bell when that information is released into court. On the other hand, Carly just interviewed a woman from Chicago who said, I really don't care. Anything that comes out of that courtroom, I'm voting for Trump because my city has been destroyed by Joseph Robinette Biden, and that's all that matters to me. So it's going to be so interesting to see how this all plays out in November.
Right.
Pam Bondi,
Thanks,
we thank you as always.
Good to see you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.